All right, let's get to some other news here because tensions are escalating today over President Trump's attempts to make Greenland a U.S. territory. The Prime Minister of Norway reportedly was told by President Trump that he wouldn't have focused so much on annexing Greenland had he won the Nobel Peace Prize. The President Trump saying he was very upset about that. So that statement is helping escalate new tensions between the U.S. and the European Union now, who is vowing to protect Greenland. NBC's Garrett Hake has the latest now from Washington.
With tensions heating up over the Arctic island of Greenland, President Trump ratcheting up his rhetoric and economic pressure to own the Danish territory, declining to answer when asked by NBC News today if he would use force to take it over, and threatening a 10% tariff on 8 European countries that oppose his fight for the island, that he says is vital for U.S. security. But today, the Norwegian Prime Minister giving another insight in the territorial tussle, releasing a text he says he received from the president that states, quote, "Considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace." Administration officials pushing back.
We are not going to outsource our hemispheric security to anyone else.
European leaders now looking at options to counter Trump's new import tax, including their own tariffs and a so-called trade bazooka, never before used, that allows EU nations to retaliate, though some leaders taking a more measured tone.
I think that this can be resolved and should be resolved through calm discussion.
The EU is America's largest trading bloc.
I think you will expect to see a number of senators join in an anti-tariff resolution filed right when we get back.
The escalation in tensions is really troubling, and we are on the verge of a crippling trade war with Europe.
Trump has made no secret he wants to own Greenland.
We need Greenland for national security very badly.
To counter what he calls a growing threat from Russia and China. But in a statement, the Chinese government says the U.S. should stop using a China threat for selfish gains. President Trump will head to the Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland this week, where Treasury Secretary Bessent says the president will tell officials that this is what American leadership in the world looks like. Garrett Hake, NBC News, the White House.